Hi everyone, my name is Candy and thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. So the first thing I want to tell you to do is to go ahead and, if this is the first time you're watching my video, I want you to go ahead and like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. So with this video, I am going to talk about how to fund your adoption. Okay, so we have a baby toy. Okay, another thing is, what you'll learn about my videos is usually my husband and my daughter are in the background. So you may hear some baby talk, some crying, nursery rhymes, things like that. She is napping right now, but one of her toys did just go off, so that's what you probably just heard. So as I was just saying, this video we are going to talk about how to fund your adoption. If you are going the private route, whether you are deciding to go through a adoption agency or you are self-matching, there are going to be costs. And one of the most daunting parts of private adoption is the cost associated with it, because there is no bottom number. It's hard to put a budget on it because you have to be prepared for anything to happen at any time. So I'm going to kind of go over how you can fund your adoption. So the first way you can fund your adoption is from your savings. Just a regular savings account. If you are doing this with your husband, your wife, a partner, or if you're just doing it by yourself and you manage to have saved up a good lump sum of money, you can just strictly take this out of your savings account. Now, not everyone has a good savings account, so that may not be an option for you, but that was, number one that I had on my list. So your savings account. Number two are grants. There are a plethora of adoption grants. Now, you have to remember that there are hundreds of people applying for these grants daily, and there are an equal amount of people getting rejected from those grants. I'm not sure exactly what they're looking for with these. I filled out one application when we were very early into our adoption journey for our daughter, and I never submitted the grant. But they ask a lot of questions. So be very prepared to submit all your paperwork, all your financial background, because they are going to give you a substantial amount of money. So understand that there are grants out there that you can get, but if that is the route that you are going, understand that it may take a little longer because you are waiting to get approved for that grant in order to start the adoption process. So in order to, get with an agency, start your home study. So all of those things, you are waiting for that specific grant. But there are a plethora of grants out there, so you can just pretty much go onto Google and Google adoption grants in the United States of America, and a bunch of companies will come up. Make sure that you're looking for a reputable company though, because there are some scams out there. Number three, fundraisers. A lot of people do fundraisers for their adoption, and a lot of people have raised the total amount that they've needed for their adoption through fundraisers. They do GoFundMes, they do t-shirts, they do bake sales through their churches, they do car washes. They do any single thing that you can think of with a fundraiser. They do it. A lot of people that are part of a church, they are really good at fundraising. People sell chocolates, whatever you can think of, they will do it. So fundraising is something that if you were really crafty, think of fundraising. So that's another thing that you can really think of to raise money, and it's quick cash. Loans also fall into the category with me with credit cards. So you can apply for an adoption loan just like you can use a credit card. But understand that when you're doing that, you are borrowing a substantial amount of money. Again, you do not know the amount of money that you're going to need in the end to fund that adoption. So hopefully that when you do borrow that money, it is enough to cover every single thing that you need to finalize your adoption. And you will hopefully get a low APR on that loan, but understand that you will be paying that back. If you're military like my husband and I, my husband is an active duty Marine, there is, what is it called? It is a adoption reimbursement. They give you $2,000 back once the adoption is finalized. $2,000 does not seem like a lot of money when we looked at the final amount of money that we spent on our adoption, but it is something. But understand that your adoption has to be finalized. So we were not able to submit any paperwork until we actually had her finalized adoption decree in our hands. Then when we applied for it, initially it got denied because I didn't know that we had to send in all of this paperwork with it. So they asked for the receipts for the Airbnb that we stayed, the hotels that we stayed, food receipts, hotel receipts, gas receipts. They asked for everything to just pretty much make sure that what we said that we spent, we actually spent. And then they sent us that $2,000, and it took, what was it, like days? It was a couple of days. Yeah, it was like less than 72 hours, I think, that we got it. So it was a quick response. But just know that if you are an active duty military couple or service member, you will get that $2,000 back as long as you have that paperwork to prove that you spent what you said that you spent, because you do have to write down what you spent on the adoption. There is a tax credit. Now, I know a lot of adoption agencies, they give you this number that you are going to get back on your taxes. That's a lie. So unless our tax people are just doing it wrong, you do get back a good amount of money on your taxes, and you can spread it out over 2 years. So let's say we got matched with our daughter's birth. Our daughter got placed with us in 2018 December, the day that she was born. We didn't finalize until 3 months later in 2019. So we were able to break it down onto 2018 taxes and 2019 taxes. To me, the money that we got back on our taxes really wasn't that substantial, but you get back something. So don't bank on that tax exemption that you get, because it's not that much, but you do get back more money. So make sure you keep every receipt on everything. I still have receipts from Walmart that we were spending, to buy salt. It doesn't matter what we were. I still have every single thing in that little bag that I was holding receipts for. So the tax credit. Some companies give you, they have an employee benefit program for adoption. You will never know that it's there unless you look under like a human resources tab, and then it's good for you to call human resources, because they do give you money. There's stipulations to that. You have to be a tenured employee, employed with them for a certain amount of time. And then there's certain stipulations that go with that. But a lot of companies do offer this. So make sure that you do look into your employee benefit program, because sometimes you will get money back for it. Some people borrow against their 401k. It's a risk. But again, if this is something that you really want to do, there are risks that you have to take. And borrowing against your 401k, it's money that you have that's sitting there. And if you're willing to do that, take your cash. A lot of people get a second and third job. You have a lot of couples that are, driving Uber on the weekends. A lot of people take a second job, whether they're doing photography, they're doing makeup, they're, just getting another job to fund their adoption, because again, it is not inexpensive. So this does cost. They get a second and third job, or they are just cutting costs every single way that you can, deem possible. They're doing that to make sure that they have the amount of money that's needed until this adoption is finalized. Stock, if you have stock. That's personally what my husband and I did. We had a stock, and we chose one of, I don't know how many, that we decided that we were going to sell, and we sold it. And I guess when you sell it, you get that check like that. And we were able to go ahead and fund this adoption. So in that way, because that money wasn't there, just like in an account, we didn't feel it. And to me, you felt it. That's the good thing about having him here, because he said, I felt it. But again, it wasn't, we didn't have to pay back anything on it, if you understand what I mean. So it wasn't like we took out a loan. It wasn't like we put it on a credit card, because we didn't owe anything on it. When you own a stock, it's like you own a piece of a company. So yes, we lost that, which is a great deal. but we didn't owe anybody back for that amount of money. And when I look at what we've gained, to me, it was worth it. So, selling a stock. Another thing that I don't know if a lot of people know is when you go for an adoption a second or third time with the same agency, a lot of times you'll get a discount, and a lot of times you're able to do it on a payment plan. A lot of people don't know that. So there are options when you have adopted successfully the first time with an agency, and when you decide to go with them again, you now are given a discount, and on top of that discount, you are now able to get a payment plan with that agency. These are things that you were not eligible for when you are a new client. So you might want to call your agency that you're working with if you're planning on adopting again, and see if these things are available to you. Last but not least is a military discount. When I ask for a military discount, it doesn't matter what we're doing. And again, not everybody watching this video are going to be military, affiliated, but if you are, there are benefits to that. And our agency, they did offer a military discount, and that was very beneficial to us. So, the list that I just went down, these are just some things that you can look at. I may have missed some things that you may have done, and if you can leave those in the comments section, I'd truly appreciate it, because like I said, my husband and I, we are planning to adopt again shortly, and we are not in the same financial situation that we were in, the first time, because I am no longer working. I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom to our perfect baby. So, things won't come as easy to us as they did the first time. So if I missed some things, can you please leave them down in the comments, and I will take a look at them and respond back to you. But thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. And honey, go ahead and stop the video. Thank you.